James Murray. We're with Politics 2.0 on the Civic Election in Thunder Bay. Joining us here at Lakehead University is Councillor Frank Pullia, who's running for mayor. Frank, thank you for coming in.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, and hi everyone.
In the last year, one of the biggest issues in our city has been community safety. And it's an issue that you've held 2 town hall meetings at. And you've been talking to a lot of people. What have you heard in that time frame?
About 2 years ago, as a children and youth advocate, I was dealing with and meeting with people in the at-risk areas, especially youth in Limerick and the Windsor area. And what I was hearing was that there were quite a bit of issues and insecurities. People didn't feel safe in their own homes or walking. And we're talking about the at-risk area where there were gang penetrations and gangs that are now becoming more prevalent. And since then, things have got worse. And that's why at the beginning of the year, actually it was April 25th, and even before then, I was hosting town hall meetings to bring the experts to the table to find out what's really going on and move towards solutions. And so having that discussions and bring it out in the open was meant to better understand the socio-economic dynamics that's driving a lot of this, like mental health and addiction, homelessness and poverty, breakdown of family structures, and when people don't have a base and therefore they have to rely on community systems, shelter house. And so there are many people that are vulnerable, so they're the victims too. And then you get the hardcore criminals that are coming in from out of town, from other cities, like the gangs, who are taking advantage of the situation. So that's what we heard. So now we have a better idea and understanding, and we can move towards solutions, which I'm prepared to do if elected as mayor.
What kind of things can we do as a solution?
Well, I believe that we need to mobilize our local resources in a much more comprehensive and integrated way. Because there are good things happening. And we need to communicate better and ensure and reassure our citizens that there is action coming. There are good things happening. After many years of lobbying the province, we now have some funding for a mental health worker to go with a police officer to respond to those kind of calls. There needs to be a better communication and integration and collaboration with the hospital, the emergency services, our EMS, our paramedics, police, to which we provided a new radio system for a better response time. We can do other things, like as mayor, I would ask the provincial government, work with the provincial government for at least 100 more beds for mental health and addiction and detox center. We are very short in that area. Right now, there is some support for short-term rehabilitation. We need long-term rehabilitation, or many of those people will relapse. Those are the kind of things that came out of that session, and there's more.
Now, I remember being at the meeting where Superior EMS talked about how many of their calls are not medical emergencies. They deal with it. They're basically a transport unit to get a very intoxicated person to the hospital. And if police get involved and police have to be there and the paperwork.
That is why they focus towards prevention, because we can double the budget of the police. You can have those block cells filled by 9 o'clock in the evening on Friday night. And then you're tying up our limited resources, and the police will not be able to respond to the criminal activities that we need to focus on. So that's why you need to handle both. Take care of the urgent problems with gangs, drugs, and crime. And the acting chief of police has already asked for additional gang unit from the provincial government, and I fully support that. As mayor, I would work very closely with the police services in ensuring that we have all the resources we need.